Bitcoin's been trending a lot in the news lately for both good and bad reasons.
Bitcoin.
Daily chart for Bitcoin.
The price of Bitcoin started going up in the last quarter of 2020 and passed all expectations when it hit a record high price of $63,000. This naturally created a lot of interest and everyone jumped on the Bitcoin bandwagon.
You show me a pay stub for $72,000 on it, I quit my job right now and I work for you.
But then the price started to go down.
It's been a brutal week for Bitcoin.
The Central Bank of China has released an interesting statement.
This not only resulted in losses for investors, but also a lot of point scoring by those who still have hope in the conventional banking and economic system. The price fluctuation wasn't the only reason.
I think Bitcoin will tap $10,000.
Earlier this year, China banned Bitcoin mining altogether.
China is intensifying its crackdown on cryptocurrency. The government ordering the country's biggest banks to, quote, strictly implement rules that restrict them from providing crypto-related services. This as Chinese officials are ordering a shutdown of crypto mining.
Why? Because China, like many other countries, are developing their own digital currency, and seeing as they're the biggest Bitcoin mining nation on Earth, China did what anyone else would have done. They decided to take out the competition for their digital yuan. However, the ban on Bitcoin mining in China doesn't spell doom for the cryptocurrency. Instead, the ban has actually done some good. As over 60% of the global Bitcoin miners were situated in China, they're now moving to other countries, such as Canada, USA, and other crypto-friendly countries in Europe. Iceland, famous for its volcanoes and glaciers in particular, is quickly becoming a hotspot for Bitcoin mining.
But there is a country with a population of 330,000 people that might just be the future of crypto mining.
What exactly is Bitcoin mining? Each Bitcoin is created through a process called mining. This doesn't mean that there's an army of programmers shoveling and digging away under the mountains looking for Bitcoins. No, Bitcoins are all mined digitally. Bitcoin mining is the process by which transactions are added to the public ledger of all Bitcoin users, known as the blockchain. The blockchain is a public ledger that records all Bitcoin transactions. The blockchain has been described as a public distributed ledger that can be accessed by anyone with access to the internet, which makes it transparent. More transparent than our good old dollar currencies. Bitcoin mining is the process of using computer power to process Bitcoin transactions and to maintain the security of the Bitcoin network. Miners do this by creating a block that contains a hash of the previous block, which serves as proof of the miner's work. This block also contains transactions and a solution to a difficult puzzle. The miners are rewarded with new Bitcoins and transaction fees for creating a block. Miners create blocks approximately every 10 minutes to keep the rate of block creation consistent. Each block contains a hash of the previous block, a reference to the previous block, and transactions. Back when Bitcoin was new and there were only a few miners, one could easily use their computer or laptop to mine Bitcoins. However, Bitcoin has an inbuilt mechanism, which means that as the competition for Bitcoin mining increases, it gets more and more difficult and longer for computers to mine. So, for example, if previously you could mine a Bitcoin in 4 hours, after the increase in competition, it would now take you 10 hours to mine it. This naturally led miners to develop more powerful systems. In the early days, miners did this by adding powerful GPUs, but as competition kept on getting more intense, specialized computers known as ASICs were developed. So, to cut a very long story short, over the last 10 years, mining has become so intense that it's no longer rewarding to mine Bitcoins on your computer, because Bitcoins are not mined for free. The cost of mining the Bitcoins is the consumption of power that the computer uses. Around 2014, Bitcoin mining farms emerged on the scene. This was the beginning of the corporate mining era. A Bitcoin mining farm is basically just a group of computers that are used to mine Bitcoins. The computers in a Bitcoin mining farm are connected to the internet and use software to compete with one another to solve equations that are used to create new Bitcoins. A Bitcoin mining farm requires a lot of electricity and hardware to operate. The hardware used in a Bitcoin mining farm includes things such as computers, cooling systems, and high-speed internet connections. It's important to note that these computers are built solely to mine Bitcoin and they don't perform any other tasks. Now, of all places, how does Iceland factor into all this? Well, to start off with, Iceland has been known for its Bitcoin mining operations ever since Bitcoins were introduced. Today, Bitcoin mining operations account for almost 1% of the total GDP of Iceland. Mining farms in Iceland use more electricity than all the homes combined in the small Nordic country. In 2014, Genesis, a Bitcoin mining company, set up their mining farm in an abandoned military base that's less than 2 miles from the Reykjavik airport. Over time, this facility has grown into one of the biggest mining farms in the world. The mining farm is officially known as the Enigma. From the outside, it looks like an old abandoned warehouse, but as you approach it, you start to realize that the facility is very important. It's guarded 24/7 by security guards, and you can't enter the mining farm without permission. The last time journalists were allowed to visit the facility was all the way back in 2018. Why all the secrecy? Well, when was the last time the Federal Reserve opened their vaults for journalists? The computers inside the Enigma are just as valuable as the vaults of the Federal Reserve. These computers make money 24/7 round the clock. So the Enigma is well guarded, and when journalists were let inside in 2018, the first thing they reported was the deafening noise inside the facility. It sounded like the roar of a jet engine, but it was the sound of thousands of computers and cooling turbines fired up, consuming more energy than all of Iceland. This brings us to an important point. Bitcoin mining farms consume a shockingly insane amount of energy. Last year, as the Bitcoin price shot up, people started investing into mining farms, and we saw massive energy blackouts all over the globe. The USA, France, Pakistan, Iran, China, every country that has mining farms was hit by blackouts because the energy demand surged due to mining operations. The energy dilemma for Bitcoins is one major reason why Elon Musk has temporarily stopped Tesla from accepting Bitcoin as payment. And he also wants to dump Dogecoin, but that's another topic in itself. So if you can solve the energy dilemma, you can mint money as you sleep. And as it turns out, Iceland seems to have done just that. Iceland's energy comes from hydroelectric dams and geothermal power plants, creating electricity without carbon emissions. That's why it's a planet leader in renewable energy, and it's also been named the world's most sustainable country in a recent study by Chatham House. Iceland's energy sources are so abundant that it's the world's only country to have more power than it needs. It has a surplus of hydroelectric power, and it's also the world's largest producer of geothermal energy. This gives Iceland a very competitive edge over other countries when it comes to Bitcoin mining. The Enigma facility is powered by geothermal energy, making it a completely green mining farm. The center will be powered by geothermal energy from the nearby Svetsengi geothermal plant, which is operated by Reykjavik Energy. The facility uses over 100 megawatts of electricity, but this consumption can rise as the facility expands or makes improvements to the existing mining equipment. The Enigma is among the world's biggest mining facilities today. Inside the facility, thousands of computers are lined in rows upon rows. Walking inside the facility feels like walking inside a computer. There are 6 big turbines fixed into the roof. These turbines stay on 24/7 to pump out heat into the chill Arctic air of Iceland, which helps keep the mining equipment cool enough to operate. Switch off these turbines and the equipment would fry due to overheating. Each computer or unit comprises of at least 6 powerful GPUs that are constantly trying to create more Bitcoins. That brings us to a problem. How do you maintain such a big facility? In a facility with thousands of units crunching numbers every second, how can you know if a few dozen units malfunction or stop working? To solve this problem, Genesis created an artificial intelligence-based software known as Genesis Hive. Genesis Hive is a B2B software that makes it easy to deploy, maintain, and manage hyperscaling mining data centers. It can automatically detect miners and add them to the system. It can reconfigure the system and let users perform bulk updates and set up automatic tasks. It also helps look out for performance issues and overheating warnings. Genesis not only uses the Hive in the Enigma, but also sells it to other mining farms. This has allowed Genesis to become the biggest crypto mining company in the world, with mining farms situated not only in Iceland, but in other countries, such as Canada and Bosnia. Upgrades in the Bitcoin mining world happen fast, which means that the computers have to be upgraded when better GPUs become available in the market. This means that at some point in the future, even the excess of Iceland's sustainable energy may not be enough to power the Enigma. That time, however, seems to be far away for now. As the fintech revolution heads towards mass adoption, crypto mining will increase all over the world. We're entering a new age, heading for a paradigm shift where digital, virtual, and cryptocurrencies are going to replace the fiat currency and the conventional banking and finance systems we currently use. What are your thoughts on Iceland's insane mining farm? Has this video inspired you to start mining cryptocurrency? Do let us know your opinion in the comment section below. And that's it for today's video. As always, if you enjoyed our video and want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all of our latest releases. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.